KMR, welcome back to the channel that's got the brap. So we're back at it, catching up, making sure to talk about our rotaries, the engines we're building, the cars we're building, and the tech that is involved in them. So this particular motor is a double build, and it does happen sometimes. Basically, I shipped this motor out. Beautiful street port based off the Cosmo block, side cut the rotors, fresh bearings, fresh E&J apex seals. Really nice cleaned up performance build that needed some cleanup. And it started up great, first run great, and then basically had a random drop of compression in the rear rotor. So I wanted to find out what was going on. It seemed so unusual that we had a brand new motor that started up fine, and then basically on the second startup right away had an issue. And I already had an idea of what could have happened, but I wanted to get the motor, take it apart in front of the customer actually, and see what was going on. So when we opened this bad boy up, it was the rear rotor. Instantly we noticed that everything looked really, really good. It looked brand new. It had only been started basically 2 times. But on the rear rotor, there was actually hard hit marks around the exhaust port and on 2 out of 3 faces of the rotor. But nothing internally was broken on the motor. So functionally, everything on the motor was fine, but somehow we had damage and debris. And if you already know what I'm getting at, is basically this motor sucked something in. Now, the customer had filters on. It's a turbocharged motor, so you got to ask yourself, how in the world do you get debris inside of a rotary motor when you have everything sealed up and it's clean? And I have seen and heard this happen before, so I'm just putting it out there as basically things to watch out for. When this motor blew up its first time, it had OEM apex seals, and OEM apex seals shatter. Those went into the exhaust, went into the turbo, went into the wastegates. Usually they go right out the tailpipe. In this case, some of those pieces got trapped in the wastegates, and when the customer put everything back on, did his first start, it ran fine. The pieces that were lodged in the wastegates came loose, but the exhaust volume was keeping them out of the motor. Basically, when the motor turned off, those pieces that were trapped in between the turbo, wastegates, and motor fell back into the exhaust port. Extremely rare, extremely rare, extremely unfortunate. But when he started that motor up the second time, it instantly had an issue, and it was because the debris that had got in here caught the rotor, pinched the apex seal, and put a gouge in the rotor housing. I'm talking about bad luck right there. Exceptionally weird, but when you have rotary engine or any engine fail in your performance car for whatever reason, it's very important that you clean all of those external parts. Wastegates, turbos, intercoolers, all of your lines. If it's something on the oil side, you need to flush everything. When you're putting a brand new motor back into your performance car, unfortunately you do have to check all of those small odd areas, nooks and crannies, and variables in all the parts that are also external to the block. Because in this case, the block had no issues. This motor was fine. It was ready to rock. It sucked in a piece of broken apex seal that wasn't even part of its motor. Now, really interesting thing is the motor that sucked it in, this motor, it's running E&J apex seals now. And so those seals went right over that debris. They didn't break. They did almost no further damage, but it was a strong enough hit that it pinched them, and that pinch stopped them from moving, and that's what dropped the compression. Most of the damage was repairable. We did have to replace a few parts. And I just thought it was a very interesting situation. Very rarely do we see something like that. And it's a good warning and observation to any type of performance build, rotaries, engine swaps, to just be aware that it's not just stuff that can come in through the front end. It's not just internal problems. It's not just tuning things. You can even have debris trapped in your turbo or wastegates, and that can back its way in the motor in a very odd situation. It's not the first time I've seen it either. So I think for today, that's a wrap. This is now back to being a beautiful motor again. We did repaint a few things and we left a few things. Basically based off the Cosmo block, polished bearings, FD3S shaft, E&J 2mm seals, low compression rotors, large street port, racing beat front pulley. Oh, it's also got a first gen front cover because this isn't going in an RX-7. This is going in a different classic car. We'll just leave it at that. So, you know, with it being a Cosmo-based block, if you're trying to mount it off the front, you can use a 12A or GSLSE front cover. And then for your oil turbo return, kind of the typical spot is back in somewhere on this exhaust side of the front cover. And in their case, they welded it on, but you can actually find 12A turbo front covers, and I think it's the GSLSE front cover that has basically the boss there for it. Lots of ways to do that, and that's definitely one good way to do it. I think that's a wrap. This motor's got to go back, try number 2. It's going to be a ripper, street ported, turbocharged, NF01, which is going to be your Cosmo 13B. So taller runners than the FD3S. And internally, if you don't port them, they're smaller ports, but we ported it. So you got taller runners mixed with a lot of volumetric flow, but port timing wise, just a street port. All right, that's a wrap. I'm gonna wrap on out of here. I could keep talking, but I feel like this video is long enough. We'll talk about more rotary stuff soon. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and I'm gonna try to get back on regular posting videos on YouTube. We've just been really busy lately. I appreciate everybody watching the channel.